Hey guys, it's Nicole. So let's talk about Splenda, aka sucralose today. A lot of people ask me about artificial sweeteners, especially Splenda. That's that little yellow packet that you see everywhere. It's in a lot of our processed foods, a lot of 0 calorie, 0 carb, sugary drinks, sodas. It's in medication. It's everywhere. So I wanted to talk about what Splenda is and why I don't like it, the two major issues I have. So basically Splenda is made from table sugar, sucrose. Okay, so sucrose is table sugar, the white stuff that you see we put in, all of our baked goods and so forth. Sucralose is Splenda. It takes about 5 processes to get it to its final product. So their biggest claim to fame, it's a 0 calorie sweetener, meaning our body essentially, so they claim, just flushes it through our system. It just pushes it right out. We don't metabolize any of it. We don't absorb it. It doesn't really count for anything. We just get that sweet taste and it's out. And that's basically, it's not true. There have only been just over 100 studies done on sucralose, aka Splenda. And out of those 100 plus studies, most of them have been on rats and animals, and very few of them have been done on humans. To me, and even the ones that have been done on humans, none of them have ever been done for more than 3 months. There have been absolutely no long-term studies done on the effects of sucralose or Splenda on humans, men, women, children, whatever. So one, that's a big red flag to me. We need to know the long-term lasting effects of consuming it 3, 4, 6 months, 5 years, and so forth. So they claim that you don't really absorb any, it just goes through your system. That's why it can be claimed 0 calorie. But that's not true. We've seen a lot of studies now that have come out that you actually absorb anywhere from 11 to 40% of the Splenda that you take in. So you're absorbing that 11 to 40% through the gut, okay? Once it gets through the gut, it goes in the bloodstream, the kidneys take it. The kidneys are gonna work hard to try to get it out too, because you have to understand, the body sees Splenda, that very, very processed sugar, as a toxin, as a poison. So you're trying to poop it out or pee it out as quickly as possible. It wants it to get the hell out of your body. So if you're not pooping it out, the next stop is the kidney. You're trying to pee it out. Out of the stuff that gets shuttled to the kidney, still like 20 to 30% of it still doesn't get peed out and actually goes to the bloodstream and gets metabolized. So you will store that long term, and that's why we need those long-term studies. So you don't just pee it all out or get rid of it. It's still in your body. So my main 2 issues with sucralose or Splenda. One is the gut health issue. There are a lot of studies that we've seen, a lot of research on rats and humans that say or show that it affects your gut flora, the good and the bad gut bacteria. And this is a problem because having an unbalanced gut leads to weight gain, it leads to obesity, it leads to inflammation, hormone imbalance, and so forth. So again, referring to, going back to it flushes everything out of your system. Your body's working so hard to get this toxin out that it ends up linking onto and flushing out the good bacteria along with the bad. So that's a big issue. One, that's a big red flag. You don't want to mess with a gut imbalance. It's not worth it. 2, the fact that you don't address the sugar issue, the sugar addiction. So a lot of people use sucralose or Splenda because they don't want to consume sugar because they think sugar's bad for them. Oh, it's 0 calorie, it must be good, right? First of all, if it's 0 calorie, low fat, it just means chemicals. But it's not good for you. And the reason why it doesn't address the sugar addiction is because you still get an insulin secretion with Splenda, and that's a problem. Increased insulin secretion leads to weight gain, eventually leads to type 2 diabetes. Another crazy thing about sucralose, aka Splenda, compared to sugar or sucrose, is they have these MRI studies of research patients. One group consumed regular sugar and the other group consumed Splenda, and they did MRIs of their brain, and they saw that dopamine was released with the people who consume sugar. Now dopamine is released like when we take a drug for the first time, right? That's why they compare sugar to drug, because dopamine's released. It's that feeling, and it's a signal to our body that says, okay, I've had enough, I'm satisfied, we're done. Okay, so they're getting that dopamine response from sugar the same way we get from drugs, and we have to continue to take more drugs and more sugar to get that dopamine response. Whereas the people who consume Splenda didn't get a dopamine response. So what does that mean? They're tasting the sugar, okay? They're getting the insulin secretion, they're getting the increased insulin response, but they never get the dopamine, which means they never get that signal that I've had enough, I'm satisfied, I'm full. This is why people who consume artificial sweeteners like sucralose, Splenda continue to eat and gain weight because they never get that satisfied feeling. So my two major issues, unhealthy gut and not addressing the sugar addiction. I would much rather, honestly, have you guys consume regular table sugar and work towards eating less of it and replacing it with better, whole foods and so forth. I don't think that you're gonna develop some crazy disease if you have one Splenda in your coffee every day, but for something that, anything that your body sees as a toxin that does whatever it can to get it out of your system should be a red flag and should be something you should probably be leaving out of your diet. So that's my opinion anyhow. Let me know if you guys have any more questions.